everybody. Welcome to another episode of
Mum
and Son. I'm Jay, I'm the son.
I'm Alicia and I'm the mum.
We're back again with another episode. This one is going to be, it should be more productive more than anything and get people practically applying themselves, isn't it?
Definitely. This one's going to be about, you know, how to keep a routine or make a routine or stay close to kind of building a routine and how it's going to benefit you in your life and things like that.
Yeah, and the importance of it as well, covering that. And I think, you know, sometimes actually, you know,
why do you because you're the one who wanted to talk about this subject. Tell me a little bit about why you feel it's important.
Because I think there's two reasons why. Every successful person you see has one. So that's not a coincidence.
True.
And then when you think about it more from a general level, everyone has a routine, whether we know it or not. We're living in a routine. Some people can wake up late, hit the snooze button every day. That's a routine that you made for yourself. But we're talking about how to have one that you consciously put together that
to support your goal.
To support what's best for you and to be successful and so on. So we all actually have a daily routine, but most of us haven't made the effort to consciously map out one that empowers us, makes our day the best day ever, brings out more productivity, things of that nature. And as I said, every successful person has a routine, and that's not by chance or by accident. That's all planned. And their execution shows and speaks for itself.
And I think that, you know, regardless of whether you're in the working world, you're running your own business, you're, you know, working for yourself, in order for any of those things to be successful in any way, shape or form, you must incorporate some type of routine in your life. And it's even more so if you're part of the working world and you wake up and you go to your job at a specific time and you finish your job at a specific time, then, you know, that may just be your major routine. So we'll talk a little bit about how to maybe expand on that routine if you're aiming to achieve something over and above what your job is or what you're doing in your job. And then, you know, if you are self-employed or even running a business in any way, then having a routine is going to be crucial to the success of those things, because you won't be able to just depend on your work or your job to make it work. You will have to be depending on yourself or the way in which your business will be run in order for it to succeed. So what do you reckon in terms of, I mean, I don't know, but from a self-employed point of view, you really do have to put into place time stamps or you know, time markers,
time blocks,
that's what it's called. Time blocks of when you're going to do things, and you know, how are you going to structure yourself in those little sections of time. You know what you know, and it's brilliant because you can kind of have mini goals in those little blocks, isn't it? And then when you join it all together, you will have achieved a lot in the day, and so on and so forth. But it's a powerful way to push yourself forward, I think.
No, it is.
You know, and to kind of get you moving in a positive direction, in the right direction towards your goals.
And it helps play a part in that we talked about in the previous episode, being consistent. You know, it really helps make that much more easier to follow and to stick, because as you said, if you have time blocks of many things that you're doing, you will feel at the end of the day a sense of achievement. Because it could be overall lead to a bigger goal, but just working on it and having done it, having ticked it off, you feel a sense of, wow, I did it, this is great, like I can do it tomorrow if I've done it today.
And I
if I do it for a week, I can do it for 2. It will help you also build that.
I think if you do it in stages, you really do feel you're working towards something, you know, because you might think, oh gosh, how am I going to, you know, get a routine together and in one huge way. If I need to start tomorrow, start small. It's a bit like consistency.
Yeah, that's true. Start small.
You know, start small.
That's the best way. You have to start small.
And build on it, like we talked about. If you haven't seen that episode, do go and watch it, because that kind of gives some background
into
to this
as well.
Yeah.
And I think the reason having a routine is very important is because we could sometimes be in that place where we go, do you know what? I got an idea of what I need to do or I should be doing. But when you leave it to freestyling it, you'll find that the motivation you had in that certain moment when you were going to do it could be gone.
Sure.
Or something could have happened at work or in your family life or in your relationship or with a friend or whatever, and it could take you out of being in that sort of place of thinking about, I'm going to do something positive, I'm going to do this, to, oh, now this is happening.
Yeah.
I don't even care about this. This is not a priority, or it's not something that I want to be focusing on and sort of working on. So don't leave it in your mind. Write it down, and you have to time block it, because that saves you from thinking about it. That saves you from thinking, oh, you know what, it's coming, it's going to be 7 a.m. Should I do this? Should I do that? When you write it down, you know, this is what I got to do from 7 to half 7 or 7 to 8. I don't need to think about it. I just do it. And it cuts out a lot of the thinking or a lot of distractions from external things that can pull you away from what you would be doing if you had set it out and put it down. So I think it helps with that focus. I think it helps with making a decision and choice. So you're not indecisive about something. And it also just makes things more straightforward, because you know what you got to do. You don't second guess it, think about it. You don't procrastinate. You just do it. And
I guess this sort of concept of you know, time blocking and, you know, being is part of being consistent. In terms of, you know, once you've set your kind of your little blocks of time, what you're going to do and achieve in those blocks of time, you have to try and do your best to stick to it and do it consistently, so that you can progress.
Well, of course,
it's really these little things make the difference between succeeding and not succeeding. These little things you know, we talk of these subjects and people think, oh, you know, consistency, what does it have to do with me? Or, you know, routines, what you know, but these are the key little tiny little things that when you want to succeed in your life or achieve something in your life or attain something in your life, this makes the difference between what everyone else is doing and what you're doing. This makes that difference that leads you to, you know, either achieving your goal or falling short of your goal.
Yes.
You know, they're crucial.
It does.
They are absolutely crucial to making you go on a journey that you are likely to succeed in rather than fail.
Yeah.
You know, and these things make such a difference. Yes. And the beauty, which I'm kind of sort of feel about them, is that they're so easy to do or so easy not to do. It's just that simple. As you said, you have to make decisions and things like that. But it's so easy to say, you know what, I'm not going to do that today. Yeah. Or it's easy to say, I'm going to do it. And that makes all the difference. What do you think?
It does. I think there's a sense of accountability when you write it down.
Yeah, because writing it down, that's really important.
As I said, it's funny, but if you leave it all in your head, you're going to stray away from it eventually.
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, same. And
I'm really guilty
that's
of
why
that.
we're like doing this episode, because I'm also looking at myself and thinking, what are things that Because I also sometimes look at what successful people have done, and I'm thinking, what are they doing that I'm not doing, or I used to do that I've stopped, and I can recognize it in myself.
Yeah.
And a part of this will also include self-reflection.
Yeah.
And looking even at your habits and looking at yourself and being honest and saying, wow, I kind of do this, or I've been doing that, or I've been watching too much TV, or I've been on my phone for too long, If I had time blocks, I could still do those things, but I wouldn't be lingering or dwelling in them longer than I need to. Because I would be using my time more wisely, more constructively, and in a productive way.
And productive
that
way.
Can lead to reaching or being 1% better towards whatever my goals are, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's to achieve this in the business field, or whether it's to work on yourself or just be better with yourself, or whether it's to be better for some people on a spiritual level, or whatever it is. It works in every kind of way.
Yeah.
So I totally agree that when you write it down, it's almost makes it more real, tangible. It's more straightforward.
Yeah.
And you know what it is. So you have to. There's accountability there. Like it's down.
Yeah.
So
you can check yourself and say, wow, I used my time wisely, or I didn't. Having it written down and having it, time blocked, as you said, it gives you that accountability to go back and think, how did I structure my day? Did I achieve what I wanted in the time frames and things like that? I know that, with time, some people, like when it's sort of, we've talked about universal timing and practical timing, but in this case it has to be practical type of timing, because you are trying to shift yourself forward in a structured way, just to attain your goal, or just to get to the end of wherever it is. Now, having said that, what do you feel about a situation where, and obviously there'll be lots of people who are watching who have got jobs, and I mentioned that we would talk a little bit about if you've got a job and you've got a working structure, but you still want to achieve something out of that structure or beyond that structure. What advice, or what do you feel are important things that we need to cover to help people achieve similar things, but they've already got a pretty well set routine, because they wake up, go to work, finish work, come back home, they are tired and probably just want to kick back and relax, but at the same time there is maybe something they are working towards that they do want to achieve. What recommendations? I mean, I know what I would say, but
I mean, we may end up saying the same thing, but what I'd say is, if you want to keep having the same thing that you're getting, keep doing the same thing that you're doing. What I'm saying is that you're ultimately going to have to change your routine.
Even at the end of a working day.
Here's the thing. If you're someone who wants to really progress or improve a certain area of your life, and whilst you're at work you can't do it, like most of us probably can't, you have to take the extra effort and time. And we talked about this as well, saying, you know what, we put so much focus and time and attention into work and into everything else, but we hardly do it for ourselves. I forgot what episode it was, but we talked about that. And that's the truth. There always has to be you time in your day. There's
I agree.
The you at work, and you give yourself to work, but there has to be the you time, because some people have families as well, so that's even harder. Drop the kids to school, got to pick them up.
That's routine.
And that's routine. So that's what
I think what you're saying is, and I might definitely agree and expand on that, is that you have to have, if you are in a working situation, or a very structured routine situation,
you study and you're at uni,
you have to have an expansive outlook on what you are doing if you want to take things to an even deeper level.
Yeah.
In terms of achieving something within a structure. Because I think so many, I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know, but being a creative type of person, you know, sometimes you have to do a particular, you know, work contract or job or something like that. And, you know, it's like, how do you carve out the time to keep working on your passion or your goals or your, you know, how do you carve out that extra time? And I feel that, you know, you have to kind of be a bit expansive in your routine and expand your routine just that little bit extra to just give you that little edge and keep going with whatever it is you want to achieve, you know, not to give up because you say, oh, but I've got a routine that, you know, is really set. I don't have the time. I can't make the time. I can't, you know, well, definitely if you have that attitude, then everything will stay the same. Yeah. You really have to push yourself that little bit further.
That's what I said, like, if you want to experience the same things that you've been experiencing, just keep doing whatever you're doing or stick to the routine that you're in now. Yeah. Because you will have to, as you said, expand. Yeah. You know, do things in addition into whatever you've been... What you're doing now, That's what you have to do. And I remember one quote saying, wealthy people, or someone saying wealthy people have the same amount of time in a day as anyone else. Yeah. But it's how they use that time. That's the difference. Time, and I bring that back to saying the thing about successful people. You know, there's some successful people that wake up at 5 a.m. and they start their day. Yeah. That to your average person be like, what the frick? That's nuts. Like, I'm trying to get more sleep here.
Rather than wake up.
But that's 5. What I'm saying. Like, it may not be 5 for everyone, but if they're a movie star and they got to go on set for a certain time and they're going to work 12 hours. Because some people want to swim or go to the gym before they know, the day starts. Yeah. They know what they have to do. So it's one of those ones where you have to be brutally honest.
Make a decision.
Say, hey, I have to make the time. Even if I feel I don't have it, I have to make it. I have to carve that time out. Yep. And as you said in one of our previous episodes about being consistent, just start small. Yeah. You know, if it's, you give yourself 15 or 30 minutes to work on this or that, whether it's someone who's looking to get back into exercise and they need to spend 30 or 15 minutes on it every day, you've carved out an extra 15 minutes in the morning or whatever, that's okay, because then you build on it. Yeah. But it doesn't have to be just like, okay, I need to spend 2 hours doing that and then 2 hours doing that. Work with what you have, because everyone's schedule is different. That's it. But you can start small and say, like, even for me, I used to wake up and I do 10 minutes of reading. I then do 10 or 5 minutes in silence or meditating or something like that, and then I then do a bit of affirmations for 5 minutes and so on, and that is about 20 minutes there. Some people could spend longer doing those things, but because I knew when I'd wake up and things like that, I just had to do bite-sized chunks, but it was okay because I felt the difference that it made, and then it was up to me to say, okay, I'm happy to extend this 10 minutes of reading to 15. Yeah. Or I'm happy to do this or that. So you can start off small. If you feel you're too crunched for time. Yeah, do a little bit. Yeah, just start off small.
Start a little routine.
Do it. Yeah. You know.
Do that little routine. You can
then expand or do whatever. That's it. Yeah.
And, you know, I love that. You don't have to say, I'm taking on this huge load of, you know, my routine's got to be filled with this and that. And, you know, because guess what? You won't be consistent with even your routine, and it won't happen. Yeah. Start something small.
Yeah, that's probably
and
the
stick
best.
with it,
small.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
start
and then
something
you can
small.
Build up or expand on it more. Yeah, if you see fit.
And what do you feel are the consequences of not having a routine? I think based on what we said, you know, you're gonna have very mediocre situation where, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a bit too much to say life may pass you by, but I think if you don't click into some kind of routine structure that is working toward a specific goal, life will start to pass you by in some way. What do you think?
Definitely. I think when you don't have those things set up and that, time feels more wasted than utilized. That's what I feel personally.
So, yeah.
Because fair enough, we all have days when we chill a bit and so on and so forth, but after a few days pass by, you go, do you know what? I haven't done nothing. Or the progress that I was making, that's if you were following a time block and then you stop for a while and go, nah, I know it like in my head now. Because sometimes that happens. You can do something great and you go, I know what I need to do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important you always write it out, because it almost makes it more definite.
Yeah.
You can sometimes go, I know what I'm doing, and then next thing you know, you're back into bad habits. You're not as productive as you would be.
Yeah.
You can procrastinate more.
Yeah.
Oh, I know I need to do this, but I can't. I'll do it later. And then,
as I said, it's so easy to do and not to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you find a set routine that can work or bring out the best of your time and yourself. You're freestyling it. It gets messy. You get lost, and then ultimately nothing gets done. And even if you do something, it's small in comparison to what you could have done had you set it out and put it down. So ultimately, you're stopping yourself or very much slowing yourself massively down from progressing. Yeah,
it's true. And I think with all these things, they're little forms of sabotage.
Yeah.
Along the way.
Sabotage really happens when you do it like that. It comes in.
I feel that over. It's not intentional. It's not something you're consciously saying, I want to sabotage myself. Yeah. But, as part of your routine, the less of the routine that you undertake, I feel it's a form of slight sabotage to your progression. So the beauty about a routine, it helps you eradicate things like that, keeps you on track, keeps you going forward in a really positive way. And when you don't do bits of your routine, you can notice and say, gosh, I didn't do that today. I now need to kind of structure myself and get back on it tomorrow. I mean, you don't want to beat yourself up that you start thinking, oh, I'm useless, I can't do, you want to, if you miss out on your routine, or if you don't have a routine, just remember, like, you can start one today. If you're missing out on any part of your routine, you can make it good tomorrow.
That's it.
It's that flexible, but
it's true.
Just try to be consistent.
It's the thing where you don't take advantage of it, knowing that it's flexible.
Of yourself,
But at the same time, if you didn't stick to one thing or something, you don't hold yourself down or like anything. Yeah. I mean, even if you think about ticking each bit off every day, if at the end of the week there was one day where you couldn't tick that off because something happened, 99% of everything else was actually done. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
True,
so
true.
Like, look at it like that as well. Like, even if you miss one because you genuinely couldn't do nothing about it, like you were supposed to go to the gym, but something happened that dragged you out of that, and you really couldn't go to the gym and do whatever. You may have gone the other days, and that's okay. So 90% of it you actually did. Yeah. Or you still may have not gone to the gym, but hey, you did some press ups and some jumping jacks, and that's what you did instead because you had to. Yeah. So you know what I mean? Like, as you said, it's flexible. But it's overall making sure that you're doing it. Yeah. I'm not saying that you're in a life where if something did genuinely happen where you couldn't do something, you can't hold yourself guilty or feel bad about it.
Or say that's it, like my routine's done, I can't do that again.
And what I'd say as well is that if you do it and you're finding it hard to keep up and stuff, then you have to say, am I making it too extreme? Yeah. Do I need to just pull it in a bit to make it that more flexibility manageable?
Yeah. And remember, you're setting your own time blocks yourself, and you are setting the bar of what you want to achieve within those blocks.
Yeah.
So if you feel, you know your pace, you know your routine, you know your lifestyle. If you feel you've overset it, you can be flexible and just rein it in a little bit and say, maybe when I have some more free time, maybe at the weekend or something like that, I might increase what I do on those days and reduce what I do during the week. So and so, you know, like,
no, it's true.
You know,
that's absolutely
be
true.
Be flexible in that respect.
And the other thing I'd say is, for some people, as you said, because we're more from creative backgrounds, they may see it as, it feels too rigid or too disciplined. I don't like that. I like being a free this and, you know, having more of a free spirit, doing things. And it's not to say you can't do any of those things. But what I've found is that the more you start growing in life and taking on more responsibilities, you even find sometimes it's harder to still make sure that there's a balance. And we talked about balance previously. Yeah. That there's a healthy balance that ultimately allows you to make sure that whether it's a passion or whether it's your health and things like that, everything is still going forward. Yeah. And I find with this, at first blush, it can seem to be like, oh man, that's a bit rigid, a bit thing. But you'll find actually, no, it kind of gives you more freedom because you are creating a thing for yourself. Yeah. So even as a creative person, I see it as, wow, I'm creating my day. So that's a lovely way. That's a lovely way to see it, because I'm creative. I'm one of those like free spirit types, and you know, but sometimes when I need, in fact, even though I am like that, I have a lot of things I have to do. Yeah. You know, I have, you know, social media, creative things to create, writing to get done, things like that. So, you know, the more you want to progress, even as a creative, in fact, as a creative, you actually need more routine and structure in a free way to achieve many of the creative things you want to, you know, achieve. You know, for example, if you are, I'm just using this example because I know about it more, but say if you are doing something like creating music or writing, or, you know what I mean, you can be creative within those time blocks. But for example, if you're working on a piece of music and you know, I need to get it done by a certain amount of time, or I want to upload it by a certain amount of time, then you have to say, I kind of need more routine at the moment to put this kind of in front of everything else, or as much as I can to get it done. Yeah. And you know, I've had to work in those kind of structures where you have deadlines and timelines that you do need to hit, or you need to do something by a certain amount of time. So if you can slot those as part of your routine, then you can feel yourself progressing. Like if I'm writing and I feel like I need to get this book done by a certain amount of time, then I will make sure that I routinely start writing from a certain time to the best of my ability, and then do a couple of hours, even if it's an hour, even if it's 2 hours. That's good enough. Yeah. You know, because I've had also times where I thought, you know, I want to finish and write something, but I've given myself no timeline. It's just gone on and on and on, and I'm not getting to the end of it. So in that respect, routines are key, whether you're creative or not creative, whether you're aiming for something or you're not. Yeah. In all ways, it adds value. That's doing the thing. And trying to achieve. It adds value. Yeah. To it all. It does. It adds value to your life. In all, absolutely. Because what is the value? The value is you're getting towards your goal. The value is you're achieving something you would not have ordinarily achieved if you didn't set out a little structure and a routine for yourself. You know, by the end of the week, by the end of the month, you can look back and say, wow, I have made strides in what I tried to achieve. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? If it's been all like willy-nilly type of thing, you're like, oh,
actually, what did I achieve last month? What did I actually achieve? So the routines push you. And allow you to value your journey and your progression as you've moved along it.
Definitely does. Seriously. So it's so important, and that's why successful people, no matter what field that they're in, whether they're
always
athletes,
look to success.
Whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they are they're singers, whether they are celebrities of sorts, and everything.
They're all, and even sports people, let's say, like even footballers, they all have a structure of routine to do. Their match may be a week or two ahead, but they're constantly working on, their fitness, their game plan in little chunks of time.
For sort of everything.
Yeah. And in that case, it does say to us all that, routine is needed in some way if you want to succeed. And you want to achieve whatever it is you're trying to succeed or achieve.
No, it's like true, because even that for most people might be the turning the key to saying, wow, it's not that I'm not capable of achieving anything. It's just I haven't really put it together and worked in it in a consistent manner, and had something to follow through.
And I never thought about putting a routine in place to help me achieve that. I thought I wanted to achieve this, but in truth, I never put any type of routine together to help me get there.
Because as well as that, it will allow you to reflect on your actions and saying, well, this is what I want to do, but have my actions been
running in tandem with that?
And when you do this, you're going to make sure as best as possible that consciously you're aware that it is going to be. Because we can even ahead say, I'm doing this, so I'm kind of still working on this ultimate thing or whatever I'm trying to do. But sometimes you might find, actually, I've been lying to myself, because I thought I did a lot, but I haven't, because I was looking at my phone as well, because I watched a video trying to learn something, and now I've watched 4 other videos that had nothing to do with this video, and time's gone by, but I feel like when you do that, it just gives you that thing of, okay, this is what need to learn more on this, boom boom boom, and then if you set an hour on it or something like that, you making sure whatever you're doing is dedicated to that specific thing. And then if after that you want 30 minutes to do social media, check stuff out, then you allot that time as well, because that's another thing that's key too, is focus.
We'll probably need to do another one on that.
I think we've even mentioned focus in some regards. Focus being so important. Because you have to think about it, even when you go through the school system and you're growing up, the routine of having different classes and stuff like that and things, there's always a routine in anything. The routine there is so that you eventually graduate and finish. But they know that if it left it with no real routine, no one would end up graduating, because because there just wouldn't be
you eventually you have to have some type of structure.
So in life, as you said, once you're in a job, you have somewhat of a routine and this and that, but as a life routine on ourselves, no one tells us to do that. No one puts that on us. We usually fall into something. Okay, I'm a parent now, so this is my routine. So you fall into these types of things. But when you're someone who wants to who's someone who sets something, as I said, whether it's the gym, whether it's doing your own business, whether it's working on yourself to be in a better relationship, whether it's to do a creative project, you have to set that. And you have to take the time to put it together. So make sure that you do that, because it's your life. So make sure you build a routine that suits it and makes the most of it.
Wow. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode about, routines, how to do one, how to make one, how to stick to one. I hope what we said has been helpful. Don't forget to leave your comments in the section below so that we know how you're getting on, we know how you're doing, and give us feedback. We look forward to reading anything you have to say as well. And it's been amazing to have you. join us on this particular episode, and we've got lots more to come. So I'll leave Jay to end it off.
Make sure you check out any other episodes. Some of them we mentioned in here that could also be nice to add on top of this. And as well as that, if you want to hear about all our new videos or actually episodes coming up, then just subscribe and stay tuned. Because we'll be bringing out more, and we allocate our time to make sure that we try to get out as much as we can.
We try to have
our
own little routine.
Exactly. So this is MumNSon, and until the next one, we are done. See you then, guys. Take it easy.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Thanks.